Hey my awesome people, Hamza here and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this shop archive page for your Elementor website. Our shop archive page will have a hero banner just like this over here, a product filter, and I will take you through every step on how to create and customize this product archive that will also be used for your product categories and be able to add as well custom filters using only Elementor. Let's get started. Before we actually get started, in the previous video, we created a single product page or template, which would actually be the template that will be used to display all the products on your Elementor website. And this here is a single product page that we created in that previous video. So if you are looking for the video on how you can create a single product template, then you should go and check out that video. I'll also be leaving a link to that video in the description of this video. But in this video, we are going to be creating something else, and that is the shop archive page, or the page that will be displaying all your products. And this page will be exactly like this one over here, with a first hero section, a filter over right here. For example, when we click on the backpacks, it should list only the backpacks, and there comes the backpacks. And if we, for example, click on the saddles, it should list only the saddles. But even then, we can filter within the saddles and say maybe the cheapest or the latest or whatever. So in this case, we have all the saddles showing up. But what if I want to display based on the price, low to high? It should then list these according to that criteria that we select. So in this case, it starts from the lowest price to the highest price. And lastly, I'll also be showing you how to add the paginations, responsive settings, styling, and all that stuff. So if that is the video you've been looking for, let's get started. To be able to create this kind of shop archive, you need to have Elementor Pro, and Elementor Pro will enable us to have access to the theme builder, and then we are able to create all these templates. If you don't have Elementor Pro, you could as well have Elementor Cloud, which also gives you access to all these features. So if you don't have any of those, then kindly use my affiliate link right down in the description of this video, so that you can have your license and then get started building websites. And by the way, when you use my affiliate link, you don't pay any extra back, but I receive a small commission on the purchase that you make. Okay, now let's get started. Once you are into your dashboard, you're simply going to come over here to templates and then go to theme builder. In the theme builder, we are going to come straight over here to the product archive, and we can click on the plus sign here, or simply say add new. I'll close this pop-up box because I'm not going to use any templates from Elementor. And now we have access to this canvas. So one thing I have to mention is that I am using the Elementor Flexbox container. As of making this video, it is still in the beta version, but once it is fully rolled out, you don't have to think about this. You just simply have to add your containers and get started building. However, if you are watching this video before the Flexbox container is released, then you have to go to your Elementor experiments and enable or activate the Flexbox container. Okay, right, since I have the Flexbox container active and running on this website, I'll just simply add a new container, and this is going to run in the raw direction. So in a nutshell, I have added a new container, and inside that container, I added two other containers. And in the two containers, one container is having our breadcrumb and our heading. And these containers inside, they are full width. So this is full width and it's taking 70%. And this other is taking 30%. And this other container, I gave it to position my image that I added in there, I gave it a margin of a negative 80 pixels for the top, just to position it to be just at the top over right here. In this case, if I go to the preview, so you have a look at what I have done, but don't forget that we added padding for the main container, 80 pixels and 40 pixels down. That is why we had to add a negative 80 pixels so that we can move this image to look like it is just hanging on top over there. Now, the other thing we are going to do is to add another section, and in that section, that's where we are going to be able to add our filters. Before we add the filters, let's first add our products widget and then customize it, and then later we can add our container that is going to hold our filters. I think that makes more sense. I'll add a new container. In that container, I'm going to add the product archive widget or archive products. And that's all I have to do, because now everything is coming in by default from Astra theme, the styling for the titles, the add to cart button, and all that stuff. But in our case, we don't want to show the add to cart button. We want to customize how our prices are looking like, the size of our product names, and also we don't want to display certain things, certain settings over right here. As well, we want to customize our pagination and how it looks like. Let's start with the simple ones. Under style, for the title, we are going to set that to our main color. And for the typography, we will use our title text. For the star rating, we will use our accent color. And we will leave the empty star color empty, so we don't apply any color over there. Pricing, we are going to add our color, which is our secondary color. And the typography is going to be for our title, that is for the pricing. We want it to be a bit more visible actually. That's why I chose to give it the title font style. Regular price, we are going to make that to be black. And then the typography is going to be our title or head typeface. Let's go to the box. We want to set the padding for our box to be 10 all over. And we're going to set the background color to be our white. So that is the whole box holding a single product item. To the pagination, so down below here, pagination. And under typography, we are going to choose that we use our body text. And then for the color on normal, it's going to be black, our main color, and the background is going to be white. On hover, it will be the reverse, white, and then our black. And on active, we will have our white, and then the background color as our secondary color. We still have this yellow border over here on the buttons, but I think that is now on the side of the Astra settings for the paginations. I'm going to check out that later and see if we can get this fixed. But so far, the hover, active, and normal colors for the pagination looks good. Great. So I am going to save as a draft. So we don't want to have that add to cart button because it doesn't make sense. I have a feeling like before someone actually goes ahead to buy a product or add that product to the cart, they kind of have some understanding about the product. So the idea of simply adding the product to the cart before the viewer reads about the product, for me, doesn't add up. So I always choose to hide the add to cart button on the shop page so that when someone opens up that product, then they are able to read about the product and then be able to add that product to the cart. Now we are going to run to Astra and disable the button just like over here, as well as the star ratings, because that's how I made it in the first place. So I want you to see how you can as well do it on your end. So to do that, we are now going to go to our WordPress dashboard. Since I'm using the Elementor cloud, I can simply just come back over here. I'm going to come to appearance, customize. There is the option for WooCommerce, and then we have the option for product catalog. But in this case, we are interested in the shop card structure. We are showing a category, title, ratings, price, and add to cart. We don't want to show the add to cart button, so I'll disable that. And we don't want to show the ratings of the product. And here, what I'm going to do is publish. We as well don't want to add a category. I'll disable that so we only stay with the title and the price visible on our product archive, just like you see over right here. So I will come back here, publish, save drafts. So we have an update. Great. Our product archive page without the add to cart button and with a new product name styling. But as you can see over here, we have this add to cart icon showing up on hover of an item, and still we have the sale badge showing up over here, which is something I don't want to have. So let me go and show you how you can disable that. We'll come back here into our customizer, still under the WooCommerce option, come to product catalog, and when you scroll down below here, there is something called shop cart design. And now we have the design tool selected, and that is the one that is bringing us the option to have this add to cart button. So if I select the design one option, there an update shows up and you realize that the add to cart icon now is hidden. We as well going to set the number of columns and also the products per page. I want to show only 7 products. And that's all for now from this other side of things. Great. So what I'm going to do is simply publish. Now we are going to come back here to our draft. To save a draft, simply to update, so we have a preview. And now let's come over here to our shop archive. It seems like we are on the right track. So now we are going to add our filter, and this filter is the one that will enable us to filter the products based on their categories. But since we are using Elementor, we don't have like a filter inbuilt here in Elementor that can enable you to filter based on certain categories, but we are going to use a simple trick. Other tools like the JetSmart filters enable you to create custom filters for your Elementor website, but in this case we are going to do it using a simple trick. And this is what we are going to do. So I'll simply add a new container, and inside this container I'll add a heading widget. I'll also add a nav widget, and I'll rename this heading widget as all products. Under style, I'll make it to be having our main color, which is already set, and typography is going to be our body text. Back under content, we're going to link this item to the shop page or to the shop archive page on our website, so that when someone clicks on all products, they're actually taken to the shop page or the main shop archive page. I'll come back over here, and this is going to be our URL. So I'll copy this and then paste that URL, or you can simply look up for your shop page. Now under advanced, I'm going to unlink the padding values, and I'll make this to be a 12 padding at the top, just simply to move it a little bit down to be on the same horizontal axis like the other menu items. So now with our menu items, we have a menu selected, and we don't want to show this menu here, but we want to use another menu that we are going to create, and this is going to be the product categories menu. First of all, save as a draft, and inside my dashboard I'm going to create a new menu. So under appearance, menus, I'm going to create a new menu, and this is going to be products. I'll create the menu, and right over here we should have an option called product categories. But if we go over here to the products categories, we have categories over here. So the question is, why don't we have these categories listed over here in our appearance menus? Why don't we have that option called product categories? To show the product categories, you're going to click over here on the screen options. You want to make sure that you have enabled that the product categories are showing up over here. So if I enable this option, down below here now you'll have the product categories display. And now I'll close the screen options and come down below here and then select my product categories. So I'll say view all and select all that I want to be added to my menu and say add to menu. I can reorder this in any way that I want, or saddles or pedals or whatever, or something like that. And then I save changes. Now we have created a menu for our products categories. Now let's head back to our Elementor editor, and then I'm going to reload the page, and then later I can update this menu. I'll select my menu widget or nav menu widget, come to the menu options. Now we have the products menu showing up over there. So now let's style up our products menu. Obviously we want it to be horizontal. The breakpoint is going to be on the mobile, so mobile. And the toggle button is actually going to be a hamburger, and then we are going to use an icon which is a plus icon, so this icon here, and the toggle align is going to be on the right hand side. Under style, typography is going to be our body text, and then text color is going to be our main color. The question is, do we need a pointer here? No, we actually don't need a pointer, so I'm going to set that to none. In our demo site that I created, I actually didn't set the hover color, but now you see how you can do it in case you want to set the hover color for these product categories. Looks like we are done. Now we can add some padding on our main container. Under advanced, select the container, advanced padding at the top. We're going to add a 40, and that's it for now. I am going to save. Let's look at the preview and see how this looks like. Yes, now this looks a little bit more better. Before we test this to see if it actually works, I am going to first of all publish this page. So I'm going to say publish, and now I'm going to add a condition, and this is going to apply to all the product archives. So I'm going to say save and close. We can go to our products page. Now it should bring us a new layout having our product filters. So I am going to simply click over here on shop, new layout, having our products filter and our products over here. No sale icon, no add to cart icon, simply the price of the product, name of the product, and that's all. So in this case, if I test out our filter, if I go to all products, it automatically redirects me to the shop product, to the shop page. If I select the saddle category, it should only display the saddles on this website. In this case, great. And if I select, for example, backpack, it should, simply display the backpacks that are listed on this website. But maybe one thing I'm thinking of doing, I can change the active color here to be our secondary color. How would that be? So back here to the products, I select the nav widget, under style, active color, I can change that to our secondary color. I'll update. I'll come to our shop page. Now when I click on, for example, lights, the lights should stay in that color because it is the active category. Good. The other thing I have not mentioned about is the fact that this filter also works hand in hand with our categories filter. For example, if I select the saddles category, and then I filter this based on, let me say, the latest, it should show me the latest saddle based on that filter. So for example, now it is showing the latest saddle item that has been published in that category. Select the products container and advanced, and link the padding, and at the bottom we'll add an 90 pixels of padding. I'll now go and work on the responsive settings of this section. So I'll start with the tablet. Let's go to the mobile settings. So once everything is done and you're happy with what you have achieved, you'll simply just make sure that you update the page and set the conditions that this layout is going to affect all your product archives, just like this. And we have built this together in this tutorial. And remember, we also built this other here where we created a product template that is being used for all the products on our website. All right, before we close up this tutorial, let's go and do some small fixes that I actually noticed as I was planning to end the tutorial. And part of this is that, look at this arrow. I actually just realized that in the whole of this tutorial, I was having this heading, having this extra text. I felt so bad about myself that how could I not notice that I added my custom text here with the default text? How is that possible? The other that I actually want us to fix is when you look over here on our pagination, it has that yellow border. But when you select your widget or the product archive widget and come to style, go down here to the pagination option, pagination, you realize that we have our border hidden. And even when we enable it, we don't have the option to actually remove this border here. As you can see, we have a border that is in black, which is this here. So if I change that to, let me say, a red, you see now we have changed to a red, but the yellow still stays. Even when I try to play with the padding, let me show you. If I change the padding, that's how it will look like. So the question is, where is this yellow coming from? Since I can't fix the yellow within Elementor, then that made me now to think about going back to the Astra customizer. In fact, I don't need a border on my pagination boxes, so I'm going to disable that. To the Astra customizer, I noticed that this pagination is actually using the color for the links. This is kind of funny because how could that yellow be applied here when it's actually supposed to be applied only to the links? So in this case, if for example, I remove this color and I make it transparent, I will publish, and if I come back now to my shop, you realize that the yellow is gone. And now this should be your worry, that if you set up that your link colors are based in the Astra customizer or the color settings from the Astra customizer, then there is another problem because your links on your other Elementor pages will be affected. But in this case, when I come to my shop page, I'm going to reload. It has now updated without that yellow border at the top. But are my links affected? The answer is no, because look at my links on hover and even on active, and even when you come over here to the breadcrumb sections, and even when you come to the menus, and even when I go to the single product pages, all my links are working great. So how do you make it that this link setting up here in the Astra customizer doesn't affect your Elementor links once you make the change here so that you have this fixed? The quick fix is inside your Elementor site settings, you have to come over here under the theme style, typography, and for the links or the link option, make sure that you set that up, having your normal link color and then the link hover color. Now that will override these Astra link settings so that even when I change this, it does not affect my links on my product pages and everywhere else I'm using links on my Elementor website. Yeah, if you have any other fix or any suggestion, let me know down in the comment box of this video. I'll as well update my shop page, and now I'll come over here to my shop archive page. I'll reload this, and now my hero section has updated with that fix of the extra text that was already there, and also we have updated our page nation. And that's it all for now. In the next video, I'll be showing you how to create a custom cut page just like this over here with custom colors, custom buttons, custom features using our Elementor page builder. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, make sure that you give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Have a good time and goodbye.